Hello again, YouTube. I want to share a story with you, and then I might rant about it for a little bit. So here we go. I was in class, and somebody was talking about, the theory of evolution. How it's just a theory, and, well, it's just a theory, so, not that big a deal. It can't be true. And I made a statement hey, did you know that scientific theories are above scientific laws? And every single person in the class thought I was an idiot. They all started laughing at me. Oh my God, what? No, of course laws are above theories. You're an idiot. I said, no, actually, scientific theories are above scientific laws. And they said, well, explain the difference. And I said, all right, well, a scientific law, from what I understand, I'm not a scientist, scientific law is something that can be explained relatively simply. It can either be explained by a single mathematical equation, or a rather simplistic mathematical equation, or on the other hand, or in conjunction to, it can be a measured thing. I can physically measure it. But a scientific theory is much larger. It may take multiple difficult mathematical problems, mathematical formulas to explain it, or it may take a multitude of scientific laws and throw them together into a theory. They said, no, that makes no sense. That's what they said. Explain further. And I said, okay, well, let's talk about gravity, right? I said, I can measure this. I can measure that. I can measure something falling. Said there's a law of gravity where we know how fast something will fall to Earth. I said, but what causes gravity, we don't know. We have no idea what causes gravity. I said, planetary bodies, said we have mathematical formulas to try and explain, orbits and stuff like that, where we believe that you get gravitational forces from these immense spatial bodies, the amount of mass alone. But we don't physically know what keeps us here on Earth. We don't know that. And again, they thought I was a moron. I mean, this went on for a long time. Everybody, just laughing at me, thinking I'm an idiot. And I've run into this before. So, I didn't overreact. I said, hey, look, do me a favor. After class, if you care to, look it up for yourself. I said, I don't have any way to prove this, here in school to you. I said, but go ahead and look this information up for yourself. So the next day, I asked, very softly and calmly, hey, by the way, did anybody bother looking that up? One person bothered looking it up out of everybody in class. So I'm assuming that the rest of them just assumed I was a moron and didn't bother. But that one person turned around and said, yeah, you know what? You were right. Scientific theories are above scientific laws, and we don't have any idea what holds us here to the Earth or what causes gravity, here on Earth to keep us on the Earth. And I said, oh, okay. And I let it go. So here's my rant. Why in the fuck are people so uninformed? I'm not saying you have to be a nerd. I'm kind of a nerd, not as much as I used to be. But in addition to me being a nerd and a geek, I'm also a gearhead. I've raced motorcycles. I can do a lot of work to a car on my own. I had a buddy help me rebuild an engine. I followed his guidance because I had never done it before, but I feel comfortable that I could rebuild another engine if I want to. I do a ton of shit. So it's not like I'm that much of a nerd, right? Maybe it's my thirst for knowledge that helps me along in discovering this stuff. But But to me, a scientific theory and a scientific law, that's something I learned in school. Whether it was middle school or high school or grade school, I don't know. But to have these 30-somethings think I was a moron because they just didn't know, it amazes me. It really does. And it amazes me how many people don't believe in evolution. Listen up, people. There's nothing to believe. Whether you believe evolution is real or not, guess what? It is. It's a fact. It's scientific fact. And this is 2012. I do not understand why there are people on this planet that think the world is only a few thousand years old. That dinosaurs didn't exist. I don't understand. I just don't get it. That people really think that we evolved from chimpanzees. Like the chimpanzees you see today, that we evolved from them. That's what people think. Well, if we came from apes, why are there still apes here? What? Are you that stupid? Are you that uninformed? Like, you're going to talk about something? Because that's my real rant here. That's my real rant. If there are two scientists talking about, rocket propulsion and what is the best way to go about it, I'm not going to get in that argument. Now, I'm probably going to steer clear of it because I have no clue. I know basic fundamental shit. Probably that's like 60 years old. I don't know what's going on today with rocket propulsion. I wouldn't have a leg to stand on talking to them. So I don't understand why there are people out there that have no idea what the fuck they're talking about decide to throw in their 2 cents and say, no, evolution's not real because of this, this, and this. And when you hear him say that, you're like, how? What did you just say? Like, what? Here are these 10 books I need you to read before you talk to me again. And they'll just look at you like you're a moron and be like, yeah, I'm not reading those because I know what I know, and blah, 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 blah. I mean, how many people have you run into like that? Or are you one of those people? Do you think the Earth is only a few thousand years old? You think dinosaurs didn't exist? Here, I'll let you in on some secrets. The world is about 4 billion years old. The human race, as we look now, has been around from anywhere from 120 to 300,000 years. That's how long we've been here. Yeah. Just some secrets for you in case you didn't know. Oh, and I might be wrong, so you might want to look it up for yourself. But then don't admit that you looked it up for yourself, and don't come and apologize to me later, because I was right and you were just full of shit. Had no idea what the fuck you were talking about. But yeah, there are a ton of people out there that I don't know what the fuck they're doing. It's like they graduated high school 10, 5, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, and then that was it. Or they went to college. People with fucking master's degrees. Master's degrees. Idiots. Hey, I'm going to let you in another secret. Remember watching Jurassic Park? Remember that movie? Remember the Velociraptors? Hey, guess what? We now know that they were covered in feathers. Yeah. What I thought when I was about fucking 8 years old, as a little fucking kid, and I said, you know what? Wouldn't it be crazy? But it's probably true. I bet dinosaurs evolved into birds. Yeah, guess what? Guess what? They found another fucking fossil of a new dinosaur that had 4 wings. Not just 2. It had 4. Yeah. Next time you go to a zoo and they have an ostrich, I want you to fucking look at it. For real. And tell me that's not a fucking dinosaur. You people. You need to know what the fuck you're talking about before you decide to get up in my shit. Really. You really do. Rant over.